Wonders of Missouri. The hidden places no one talks about. Travel guide. Most people think Missouri is a place you pass through, not a place you pause for. And that misunderstanding is exactly why its most impressive locations remain under the radar. This state does not rely on dramatic headlines or overproduced attractions to impress visitors. Instead, it offers depth, patience, and landscapes that reveal themselves slowly over time. Missouri rewards those who are willing to explore without expectations and without rushing. Beneath the surface is a state shaped by ancient geology, overlooked history, and natural beauty that does not need validation. Once you start paying attention, Missouri stops feeling ordinary and starts feeling quietly extraordinary. Elephant Rocks. State Park. Elephant Rocks feels less like a park and more like a natural archive of the Earth's earliest history. The massive granite boulders scattered across the land are the exposed cores of mountains that formed over 1.5 billion years ago. These rocks existed long before complex life ever appeared on the planet, and standing among them gives a rare sense of deep time. Each boulder carries unique cracks, textures, and shapes created by immense pressure and slow erosion. As you move through the area, the rocks form corridors and open spaces that feel intentionally designed, even though they are entirely natural. The scale of everything subtly changes your perspective, making modern life feel brief by comparison. The park encourages exploration at your own pace, without barriers or forced viewpoints. It is a place where silence feels meaningful rather than empty. Sauk Mountain Wilderness. Sauk Mountain does not announce itself with dramatic peaks, but it quietly unfolds into one of Missouri's most rewarding landscapes. The wilderness area is rugged, with exposed rock, dense forest, and wide-open skies blending together naturally. Trails wind through terrain shaped by erosion and time rather than design, making every step feel earned. After rainfall, temporary waterfalls appear, transforming familiar paths into something new. Standing at the highest elevation in the state feels reflective rather than triumphant. The view stretches outward without spectacle, offering a calm sense of scale and distance. The area feels raw but welcoming, challenging without being overwhelming. Johnson Shut-ins. Johnson. Shut-ins feels like a place where the land never stopped moving. Rushing water carves its way through ancient volcanic rock, creating smooth channels, sudden drops, and swirling pools. The geology here is rare, formed by lava flows that hardened millions of years ago and were later shaped by constant water movement. Every season changes how the area feels, from calm flows to powerful surges. The water's energy is constant, even when the surroundings are quiet. Walking along the shut-ins feels dynamic, like the landscape is actively reshaping itself. The textures of stone and water invite close attention, not just observation. It is a place that feels alive rather than preserved. Johnson. Shut-ins turns natural force into something visually unforgettable. Tonka. State Park. Tonka feels like a place where ambition met time and lost, but beautifully. The stone ruins of a castle sit high above the Lake of the Ozarks, slowly blending back into the surrounding landscape. Built with grand intentions, the structure now stands as a reminder of how nature always reclaims its space. Surrounding the ruins are dramatic sinkholes, caves, and towering limestone bluffs. Trails weave through forests and along cliff edges, constantly shifting between enclosed and open spaces. Every section of the park feels layered with both natural and human history. The scenery feels cinematic without being artificial. There is a quiet tension between what was planned and what remains. Tonka leaves you thinking long after you exit the trails. Alley Spring and Mill. Alley Spring feels like a place suspended in balance. The spring releases millions of gallons of clear blue water every day, flowing steadily regardless of season. That consistency gives the area a calming rhythm that is easy to fall into. The historic mill stands beside the water, representing a time when natural forces powered daily life. The contrast between the bright red mill, blue water, and green forest feels striking but natural. Everything here seems to coexist without competing for attention. Sounds are softer, movement slower, and distractions minimal. The area invites stillness without demanding it. Alley Spring is less about activity and more about presence. It leaves you feeling reset rather than entertained. Pickle Springs. Natural area. Pickle Springs feels like stepping into a hidden stone labyrinth shaped entirely by time. Narrow passageways wind between tall rock formations carved by erosion over millions of years. The trail leads through shifting light and shadow, creating a constantly changing atmosphere. After rainfall, small waterfalls appear, adding movement to the otherwise quiet space. The rock walls display layers of geological history, each telling a different story. The area feels intimate, even when others are nearby. Exploration here feels personal and immersive rather than guided. Every turn reveals a new shape or texture worth noticing. Pickle Springs rewards curiosity more than speed. It is a place that invites you to slow down and look closely. Why these places matter? These hidden places matter because they challenge the idea that beauty has to be obvious. They show that Missouri's most meaningful experiences are often found away from crowds and expectations. Each location offers a deeper connection to land, shaped by time rather than trends. They encourage exploration, patience, and attention, qualities often overlooked in modern travel. Missouri does not need to compete for attention because it already offers substance. These places stay hidden, not because they are unworthy, but because they wait for those willing to look. Once discovered, they reshape how the state is understood. Missouri reveals itself fully only to those who take the time to notice. Rockbridge Memorial State Park. Rockbridge feels like a place where the ground itself opens up to tell a story. The natural limestone bridge stretches over a creek that disappears into the earth, only to re-emerge nearby as a spring. This constant movement of water beneath your feet gives the area a subtle sense of motion, even when everything looks still. The landscape is shaped by caves, sinkholes, and underground passages that hint at a much larger hidden world below the surface. Trails guide you through forested areas that feel cool and enclosed, then suddenly open into wide clearings. The contrast makes every section feel distinct without breaking the flow. It is a place that quietly teaches how much of nature exists out of sight. Rockbridge does not overwhelm, it intrigues. Greer Spring. Greer Spring feels almost unreal in its scale and calm. It is one of the largest natural springs in the state, releasing an enormous volume of crystal-clear water every day. The path leading to it winds through dense forest, making the reveal feel earned rather than expected. When the spring finally comes into view, the color of the water stands out immediately, deep blue and impossibly clear. The surrounding stillness makes the movement of the water feel even more powerful. It is a place where energy exists without noise. Greer Spring carries a quiet strength that stays with you. Standing there, it becomes clear why water has always held such importance in shaping landscapes and human settlement. If this journey through Missouri's hidden wonders shifted your perspective, like the video so more people can discover these places. Subscribe to keep exploring overlooked landscapes and stories that deserve attention. And share this with someone who thinks Missouri has nothing new to offer, because the real discoveries are often the quietest ones.